okay.
So, I just hit start recording. So, hello everyone. Uh,
There you go.
Please, man, this is also what Hamil did. I haven't introduced you yet. You can't speak. Don't say hi. I haven't said who is my guest. You're making a spoiler. Okay. So,
Stranger say hi.
so, good evening, everyone. This is Cleo. This is the second interview after Hamilcar, and I wanted to be this interview the first one, but for some reason I had a problem. So this is the second one, but in my heart it's the first one because right by my side I have Titans, Greek, BH, IOW, Clanless, Chimera, Bubo. So, good evening, Bubo.
Good evening, Cleo. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. So, I just named six clans or five.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I've been through a lot. IOW, Titans, BH, Greeks, Chimera for a little bit. 5.
Chimera was your own clan, right?
Yeah, that was me, Bertolus, Heraclius, who's now in Titans, Tamahak, and Luna for a little bit.
Okay, so you have a lot of clan experience, I guess. So,
Yeah, I guess so.
so how did you started playing Rome Total War Online?
Well, I always had an interest in ancient history. I liked to focus on the Greeks, as you well know. And my friend had been playing this game. He mainly played like single player campaign for a very long time, and he showed it to me. And I thought it was pretty cool. I wasn't. I like the Romans though, so I was thinking about playing it, but then I found out you could play as my favorite ancient civilizations in it. Macedon and the Seleucids and all the rest of it. I was a little disappointed with Egypt though. It's kind of Bronze Age Egypt, but it's okay. So yeah, started playing it. I went online a little bit. I played like 50K large scale. I met Mongroclo and Paparutalis doing that. And then I found out there were bigger clans and stuff like that. I met Orban Long. He got me into 31K at first. That's how I met you. We
Or
did our famous three versus Macedon.
Orman Lang, what the guy, right?
Yeah, he's something else. He was funny. Love the guy. um,
So,
then yeah,
yeah, we know your steps in the clans. I'm just going to ask, like, let's start from the end. What can you tell us about the Clown Wars?
the Clown Wars. Well, that was really just me and Paglia. We got off the wrong foot. I love Paglia though. Don't get me wrong, but we got off the wrong foot. We had some arguments here. There, some tactical disagreements,
Mm-hmm.
and we just uploaded each other doing stupid shit in battles against each other, and that's that. That's basically what the Clown Wars were. It was fun. It was good fun.
It was very funny though. Like we also agreed with Hamilcar that the Clown Wars were very very interesting, very lolly in a way. And we're sad that now the Clown Wars are gone. Also, you're participating in a tournament with Hamilcar, as and your names is the Clowns. So,
That's correct.
so is that a message to someone? Do you consider yourselves to be clowns?
No, we're just playing for fun. We kind of wanted to project that with
Mm-hmm.
a name like that. We think the Paglia calling people clowns was funny, so we just represented that. It's not a message to anybody in particular.
Okay. So, from all those clans that you've been, which clan you think gave you the more game wise to be the star player that you're now?
Um, I think I kind of have two answers. I'd say it started with the Greeks. I learned like the most basic things I know and started getting advanced through them, like if I didn't really understand how to use pike factions at that. Like I was using them and I could use them against like BH and stuff, but in terms of higher level play, if I didn't know the stuff I learned from the Greeks, um, which is most of it in terms of fundamentals, then I probably would never be able to use pike factions like as I do these days, or for most of the time I was playing at a higher level. Um, and then Titans too, because they 1v1 me the most, especially these days, and I honed a lot of those skills. And they do some stuff their own way as well. A lot of it's pretty much the same as the Greeks, but I learned a little bit more from that. Like I 1v1 Mo like roughly about as much as you, like pretty much like one of the most people I've 1v1. So it started with the Greeks, and then the Titans helped as well along the way.
But it's a we have a big gap of time between you joining the Greeks and you joining the Titans. So in the meantime, you were just holding on the skills that you had when you were in the Greeks, because I think that you got better after you left the Greeks. It's not like you had the same level until you joined the Titans. And also,
Yeah,
I don't think that, like, for example, you joined Titans in 2019. I don't think you weren't as good as you're now, and because you joined the Titans like 1 year before.
oh no, it's not like that. I say Titans because especially earlier, like around the time I joined the Greeks or after I left the Greeks. They were really, other than you, Dio, and maybe Heracles, even though he wasn't around much, were the only players that were like really good. So um, playing Beast and Mo was very critical to my formative years in becoming better and better. Is what I meant.
Okay, now I understand what you mean. So, right now in the Titans clan, Mo doesn't play that much. Sparky, he used to play, but now he's not playing that much. And also
Yeah.
Delmon, I mean, you are the most, how do you say that? The most active player in this clan, right?
Yeah, right now I'd say so. I am.
So, do you feel lonely? Do you feel rejected
Uh,
from your fellow clanmates when you ask them to play and they say no?
no,
Also,
not really. I understand people have lives and there's school and work and stuff, and most played years longer than I've played, so he mainly says he just needs a break or he's taking time off. It's understandable. Like I was gone for 9 months at one point myself.
Sparky was in IOW as well, right?
Yeah, he was.
Do you remember him when you were also in IOW?
I don't think he was in IOW at the same time as me. I think he joined after I left. I
Okay,
joined Greeks. I joined Greeks after I left, and I don't remember him there.
okay. So,
But like I remember him in the clan and playing him when he was in the clan.
is it true that you using Macedon is inspired by Alexander the Great? Do you feel like when you play Macedon, Alexander the Great is watching you from somewhere and he's being very proud of you?
Um.
Have you ever
Well.
charged your companions and thought this is for fucking Alexander the Great?
Well.
No, never.
Uh. I mean, everybody. Yeah, I guess, but like not like the whole reason I come on this game is because I like ancient history in general, not just the Greeks, but like my main focus is like the Greeks and the Hellenistic period, and Alexander is definitely like the biggest part of that. So I wouldn't play this game if you couldn't use Macedon or the Seleucids or something like that. So that's a big part of it.
People say
Alexander's my favorite.
people say that you jerk off on cataphracts. Is that right? Do you think that you jerk off on cataphracts?
No, it's just that I've played for 5 years now, and like I've learned pikes as much as I can really. And Cataphracts is just something I could do with a faction I like that has is effective against like the way I play them is very effective against the Romans, especially in team games. It's just an interesting thing to try. It's just new and interesting to try. Um, I don't think I'm ever going to be good at Rome versus Rome because I'm just not that interested in it. So Cataphracts, I'm just gonna play that. It's a different thing.
Is it true that you are a big modder? Like putting uh, cataphracts on Macedon, putting, you know, different units on different factions?
Yeah, I've done that with pretty much every faction. Like I've saved armies with Cataphracts in Rome, Cataphracts in Macedon, Cataphracts in Greece for fuck's sakes. Like, yeah, it's just fun thing to. It's just something. Like I said, I've played this game forever. It's just something fun to see different things that you never see.
Yeah, true. If you had to choose, like, in a competitive game to pick an ally to play a 2v2, who would that ally be? Like, you can choose.
Ooh, that's a lot of people I'd pick. But say who mimics be based on like compatibility.
Like,
Um,
based on with which ally you would feel more comfortable to play, and you would feel more sure to play a 2v2 versus other two players.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. I'd say well, there's a number of people I could list really because I can play well with several people, but
Yeah, you
if it's
can
just
only choose one though.
one,
It's a 2v2.
um, I'd say a reckless,
Heracles.
definitely. Yeah, I'd say because right now, because of my interest in the Seleucids and things like that, he kind of feels the same way about them from what he's told me at least, and the way he plays. So I feel like I'd have a lot of synergy with a reckless. If I could only name one person
Yeah, one.
right now, right now, yeah, then a reckless.
So, and which one would be the least favorable? Like, you wouldn't choose him for fuck's sake, nothing to be your ally.
That's a good question.
I mean,
Uh,
I mean from you know the 10 people that we play on GR, from that pool of
uh,
players. Don't tell me Steve Longshanks, for example.
well, I don't know. There's nobody in particular that I dislike severely. It's hard to say, really. I pretty much get along with anybody I'm paired with, like even if we don't perform well.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that the guy that you will pick is a bad player. It just means that it suits you less than everybody else.
Hmm, gonna have to think for a second.
Yeah, sure, take your time.
Um, it's really hard to say. Um,
No, man,
I'd say okay. I'd say Turk, I guess.
this is not a good player, man.
Yeah, but he's not bad.
Jeez.
I understand he isn't like
I mean,
the greatest all time, but
every time you play with Turbo, you have to visit your physio. You told me.
yeah.
Like,
Um,
no, I mean, like, from the Titans, from the Greeks, Hamilcar, Estrax, like, Luke, Nidintu, those kind of players.
I'd definitely go with Arthur in that case.
Who?
That's he calls himself Nidinsu.
Ah, okay. Okay, next question. Do you think um, that Rome Total War has the potential to be a great game again? I
Um,
mean, after the video that Spartan Commander posted to
oh, you mean in
to
terms of what he was saying, is in it garnering a lot of popularity again, and
yeah,
no, not unless they completely remastered it or something or made a mess. Like it came out for iPad at one point, and a lot of people were talking about it, but I don't know how many people do that. Like I think a lot of people use it for the in the solo sense, not in the social sense, but like
playing
um,
online, you mean?
yeah, But in terms of anything beyond that, I can't really see it. I don't see an incentive for CA to really take off of it. Like they could just come out with new things. So for this specific one, no, I don't see it. Not like you were saying.
Okay. There was a time that you left the Titans and then you rejoined the Titans. Can you give us a little bit more info about this story?
Um, it's not really something I prefer to talk about, honestly.
Okay, if it's classified, then it's classified, so we skip to the next question. Everything that feels uncomfortable to you, we are just going to skip it.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Do you prefer brunettes or blondes?
Um, both.
More?
Both are.
Like the same
Uh,
way, do you prefer to have blonde hair or dark hair?
I really like both. It depends on the individual. Like I can't say one or the other in general. Like it's so many other things besides the hair. Like I don't know. It's just they can be both amazing. Like I don't know.
Okay, so do you prefer Macedon or Seleucids? Which is the favorite faction of you on Rome 1?
Uh, well, for most of the time it's been Macedon, but right now, and only versus the Romans, the Seleucids, only versus the Romans. If it's versus anything else, then I like Macedon more. So I don't know. I'd say right now Seleucids, but that I'd probably change my mind in a little while.
And your least favorite faction?
Um, Rome,
Rome.
yeah. I mean, that's not saying I hate it. Like, it's just the one I like the least, I guess.
Yeah.
Other than like Germania or something like that.
So, mm, what else? Do you go to the gym? People say that you deadlift the rocks and stuff like that. Is it true?
Yeah, it's definitely true.
How do
I
you
told them
feel?
myself.
What's the point of deadlifting rocks?
Um, well, there's COVID going around. I stay with people who consider themselves at risk, so out of respect, I don't. So I don't really like go out to that many places where there's tons of people. Gyms are obviously something that can, you know, have a risk of transmission toward the person going there. So I just don't go. I just kind of work out with some stay-at-home equipment. If I want to do something really heavy, the only thing heavy enough to simulate a deadlift at the level I was doing it at is really just like very large rocks outside. So I just do that for now until this thing blows over.
Is it true that you taking dope to improve your muscles?
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
Like I drink protein powder and stuff, but I don't like there's steroids. No.
Oh, okay. Um, do you do drugs while playing Rome Total War?
No, I do not.
Do you drink alcohol, beverages in general when you play Rome Total War?
No, I never do.
Non-alcoholic beverage as well?
I drink water and soda and stuff. I guess coffee.
So you drink beverages in general?
I have refreshments.
Yes. Mm, so,
Indeed.
what else you want to talk about? I mean, also against both, there was a big fuss about this British guy. He went out on you, like saying stuff in a video, like he was talking about your butthole and stuff like that, and you made him piss his pants by uploading a 80 serious. This is
Yep,
very
yes, I did.
impressive. And then
I don't know. It's kind of easy.
he said like, Booba, let's go for a best of 11. Booba, let's go for a best of 5. At the start, you were denying that, and then you said, okay, let's do it, and you won the best of 5 as well. Did he said anything after this? Because on the comment section of the video that you uploaded with the best of 5,
I know. I
he
know. He's so quiet. He's so silent now. It's amazing.
he's so
Well,
quiet. Did he tell you anything on Steam or something?
right after it ended, he said it doesn't count and it wasn't honorable because
Why?
I didn't do Rome versus Rome for the tiebreaker, so they
Okay.
don't count. That's what he said.
Seleucus versus like it's not
That was
honorable
the tiebreaker.
to give your opponent a faction advantage in the tiebreaker.
I wasn't told any rules before we did it. He just said, "Let's do it. I'll beat you 3 times in a row." So he won 2 in a row, but I was the one who won 3 in a row.
But then you
There was
started
no
playing seriously, right?
say again.
But after you lost the first 2 battles, you started to play seriously.
Yeah, because like the 0-8, like he really didn't know what to do, so it was like I was sweeping and winning. So it was like the first two, he played a lot better in the sense that he was using that like testudo thing, and I wasn't really like paying that much attention to my infantry for it. So he ended up just using that to win, and then the second two, because that move because of run through is just not used anymore really by anybody, except Hades, but he never plays. Like, um, you don't know when to expect it, you don't prepare for it, but then once somebody hits you with it, you kind of remember the old skills you had, and then you kind of it was very easy to just go from there and do the three.
Can
Then that
you
was that.
can you define the old skills that you're talking about? What do you mean the old skills?
Well, when I honestly like when Spider and everything introduced me and were showing me some things, the way that I first understood how to combat Hellenistic factions with the Roman faction was to they would throw Pila, they would then form a testudo, and they would just sort of walk through the formation like in mass, and they'd be able to completely negate the sarissas, explode open, and just route the infantry that way. That's what Bob was trying to do, and it's an exploit, to be honest. It works if you do it right. Bob wasn't really doing it great, but even with him, it could work. And that's kind of like an older way of doing it. The newer way of doing it is just run through Pila, maybe surround. You don't really have to, and run through. Maybe cap charge. You don't really have to again. Um, and that honestly isn't that new because Greek Leonidas, when he played back in like 2006, said there was a guy who called himself Fokker who was doing it, and Menandros and him were aware of it, and they countered it with like Spartans and cataphracts and things like that whenever Fokker played. And then I didn't see it really surface again until Odin was using it. And Odin was really one of the only people who used it. Maybe Beast used it too. Then when I kind of took some time off, I came back, and then Mo was using it a lot, like every time, and then Sparky and Paglia were kind of using it. I use it as well. Um, Steven uses it pretty good. You were in a game where you used it recently. Uh, so and that's been going on for quite a while. So like the strategies I use to counter the testudo thing, I really haven't used in really years, honestly.
Yeah. So, do you think that Bod is so hard done that he's not going? Also, is Bod the faker? Is he using another account to play in a different clan? Is that true?
Well, I'm not going to say anything official, but I suspect he may be faking a clan based on that player's extremely similar use of the faction as him, almost identical. But I will say no more.
Yeah. Okay.
And he says the same thing, so
And
his bot does.
and under this name, he played against Sparley.
Yes, supposedly he played a Rome versus Rome with Sparky. He says he won 2-1. So I guess he's admitting he's the person now, because Leonbot was the one who's bragging about it. But he has not appeared to. Sparky challenged him to a series, and he never replied to Sparky. He was obsessed with me, the best out of five, but after that, he's been. I haven't seen him ever since, and he just completely ignored Sparky's request for a challenge. So I don't know what's going on.
Do you think that that people get obsessed with you? I don't think Bod is the only one.
Um, yeah, sometimes like there's different ways they get obsessed with me. Like, it's usually people who aren't that good yet. They're just like, because I'm a little unique. In terms of the fact that I don't use like the
You're
faction the
unique.
game put me for.
You're unique in all the terms, Bubo.
I guess
Because
that's true. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess. So it's either like, um, because when they take it's the pikes really, because when they take them, and they go against Rome, it's just like it's over. But like, or they go against a Greek clan member or a Titans clan member now, it's just over. And um, they see me who never takes Rome really, or when he doesn't just do bad, but doesn't do really that good either.
mm-hmm.
Could take pikes and versus people like Bod or some others could beat them as Rome, the faction that they only take. I think he just gets in people's heads, and they sometimes people are either friendly and they just respect it, or they get really upset and they think it's an egotistical thing that I don't use Rome, and they wanna prove something and prove themselves, and use me because I'm well known to prove themselves to the community at large. So that's one of the reasons people like Bond become kind of obsessed with me and start streaming in chats and stuff like that. I think.
But to be honest, you're a very uh, talkative person for a video game. That's what
Yeah,
people
I'm
say.
a
Like, I mean, you're very social in the game, and you're very persistent in the game and in the social aspect of the game. Do you think this derives from the individuals that play the game, or you are that way in every aspect of your life?
yeah, I'm pretty much like that everywhere, honestly.
Okay, so everyone in your state knows Booba, right?
I wouldn't say in my state, but like everywhere that I like personally travel around, like I'm well known by a lot of people.
And do you get the same love as well?
Um, More actually. I think Rome Total War is is unique amongst almost anywhere I've been for the level of crazy people that are in it. And most of the crazy people end up don't liking not liking me for one reason or another, but most of the same people, maybe besides Dio, end up liking me. So
Well, but I think like I have a personal experience, even though we had a good relationship, you decided to kick the bucket of this relationship and you know, do some weird stuff. Do you think this was a good way to
well, from what you were talking about, it was honestly some years ago, and I wasn't necessarily always the most mature person. I'm still not now. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but yeah, no. Sometimes I'm not always mature, and I make mistakes.
but
But I see through them and try to fix them.
no one is mature, man. What the fuck are you talking about? If you play a game from 2004, no one is mature. About
I can see that too.
we're talking about immature persons, like every one of us, no matter what we do in
Yeah,
our
that's true.
personal lives, we get involved to all these stupid things that happen in Rome Total War.
Yeah, I know. So true.
Also, this is a good question. Do you think that, like, for example, if BH goes into Game Ranger, decides to play on Game Ranger, do you think that would be a good sign for the game, or it will ruin what we have right here?
No, it won't ruin it because BH won't let anybody outside their clan play if they have 8 players. So, I mean, unless people, because they go on GR for some reason, which I don't suspect will happen, stop playing nobody except Spartan Commander, which is what they do on Steam. Like, when we were on Steam, it was kind of the same thing, especially recently because BH just keeps growing and they have like 16 people in the lobby for 2 days a week and nobody can join their games. And then furthermore, they have these conspiracy theories that anybody who's significantly better than them are hacking or modifying game files or something like that because they don't know how they're winning.
Yeah,
So I don't think like it's like there's already some BH players who have like Mad King for example or Mars. There's some BH players who are more open minded and play other people, and they're nice and they don't believe that there's hacking and stuff like that. So maybe a few individuals from BH would branch off and join other people's games that they see on GR, but I think on the whole it doesn't make that big of a difference given how BH is.
yeah. Also, for example, do you think like a lot of people, though, I mean, statistically speaking, even though they disagree with the policy of BH and how they are stick on the social, let's say, aspect of the game, since they say we're not going to move on Game Ranger just because it has no lobby, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, you log
I agree.
into a game to play the game. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have a lobby. If you can't play the game, what the fuck? You're going to be like a SAR.
I'm the most social person, as you said, and I completely agree with that logic.
Yeah,
The main thing is play.
yeah, true. So, I mean, even though the clan, the Brotherhood clan is the way it is right now, why people statistically tend to fake to get into BH? I think this is
I
absurd, isn't it?
well, I can't believe I actually got into PH in the first place, to be honest. Because
Yeah, but you didn't fake. You
I
joined
didn't know I did
lolz.
it. I did it the right way. I did it the proper way.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm talking
but I think
about the wrong way.
yeah, the wrong way is the same motivation as the right way. If people try to join the right way, like for example, all the good players who would want to anyway, I think, um, they're already in a clan and they don't want to, joining PH might involve leaving that clan to join PH, which I can understand. Like people like Sparky or Paglia would never do, even though they would probably want to play a BH game. The other thing is that due to the fact that there's fakers, BH is very suspicious of randoms in the lobby of being fakers, even though they might not be. So they just don't take as many people anymore, like right now, and that's understandable. But the PH games, no matter how good or bad they are, they play in a way that's fun to play against. They take normal armies. Some of them aren't really that bad, honestly. And these days in elite games, you don't see anybody taking down not too bad. I
You
was
did
playing.
something to your microphone, Bubo. I can hear something like a motorcycle. Mm, I can hear you. Did you unplug something or did you plug something?
Yeah, I did nothing.
I can't hear shit.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear a lot of noise and I can barely hear your voice. So, what? No, I can hear nothing. What the fuck are you doing, man? Hello? Bubo?
Hello. Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So, what
Uh,
you were talking
it's
about?
it's normal again, right? I just reset my Bluetooth. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Okay. So we were talking about why I think people fake.
Yeah, even though
Yeah.
they hate the way BH plays and operates as a clan. Like,
Because they're very. So did you get all the parts where I said like um, about why they want to join BH games?
yes, but what's the point? I mean, you're saying to
Yeah,
them,
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
think
they don't like the
for.
way they play. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They don't like the way they play. They're disgusted by it. Some make fun of them for it. But it's fun to play against, like especially if you're a weak faction, even if you're a strong faction, because of uh, the way they play allows you to do certain things you don't see in any other game, like an elite game. And if it wasn't for BH, I wouldn't have gotten 3,400 kills with Macedon. Like that's just facts. Like you wouldn't have gotten the most kills ever with Greece. Like without BH, there's no getting around that. The only people who play 4v4s and spam infantry like they do and play like they do. So everybody wants to play with them for that reason. It's just fun.
I don't think
Maybe they.
the 3K challenge is well known. I don't think people play for that challenge.
I don't. Yeah. It's just I wasn't even trying to do it when I got it. I didn't expect to get it. Like it was. It's just something I hope will happen one day. Like I thought I would be like Carthage or Spartans or something when I would get it. What ended up happening was I was just like on a hill, and my allies were I don't know what they were doing, and three people attacked me, and they all died, and I killed all the routing units, and that's like that was unbelievable. But anyway, um, yeah, no, the reason you join BH games is because they're fun playing, and like what I'm saying is proved by the fact that people fake to get in BH games and play them. Like they're not faking and then uploading videos of them and saying, "Haha, I fooled you." They're faking for the long run. They're faking just to play them to get a game with them because it's fun. It's just innocent fun. It's just a no stress game. There's not a lot of there's some talking, but not like too much. There's not a lot of trolling. It's just playing a huge game. It's different from 2v2s and 1v1s, which are very common these days. So that's why.
So to make it more general, what Rome Total War means for you?
Um, it means a lot of things, really. It's a place where I was able to sort of experience some fun with not that it's historical or it's not, but it stimulates like enough for me the sort of aspects of history that I'm interested in. You get to see a semblance of what all these generals I used to study and read about, I still read about, were doing and things like that. You kind of get like um, I don't know, just like sort of an immersion in that sense
So
of the
you
history.
so you do feel like you're Antioxos, right? When you play the Seleucids.
No, I don't feel like I'm like because my armies are nothing like the real armies he had. Like he had a very small. I could get into the details, but it'd be a long time. Like it's just like to some extent, yeah, you're right. To some extent, I feel like I'm simulating something like what Antiochos III did, or what he would have, or what he might have done if he had the chance to fight Rome 80 times.
Yeah.
Um,
Otherwise, you would have played Medieval 2 Total War or Attila. You're just stick on Rome because
the time period it takes place in.
of the historical aspect. So you do
Yeah,
feel
that's the
you're
whole reason.
Antiochos, yeah. So
Uh, yeah, you're pretty much right.
so what do you think about um how do you say that? I forgot what I want to say. So do you think right now that there are enough people to continue playing? You don't feel bored, you don't get the feeling of repetitiveness, how do you say that, in most of the
No,
games?
no, because I never really um, I never play the exact same style, even though it's the same rules and very similar factions. I was just try different stuff and do kind of slightly different moves and stuff like that. And players, there's enough difference between every player, every individual player, and that can play on a high level. That everything's interesting, and I can just do it over and over again. Like what we were talking about earlier, the Seleucid thing that I had, cataphract and stuff like that. That's kind of a new thing for me. I never really like I took them before because I liked them, but like never like this, never with the same builds, never as much, never on the level that I'm doing it now. And that's just because of the repetition and a lot of it's Heracles too. I played a lot with Heracles, Seleucus and Rome and stuff. So no, I'm not very bored.
Okay, so you think you still have a lot of things to do with this game, like test different armies, different strategies, different
Yeah,
formats?
yeah, absolutely. But I usually don't know what I'm going to test until it just kind of comes to me during a different situation that I'm in or something new that I try. Um,
Which player do you think is the best player using Rome on Rome Total War?
for every situation, I would say Beast. Absolutely.
Beast. Which
Beast is the best all around player with Rome.
Okay, which player do you think is the best to use Greek cities?
Hmm. It's either you or Dia. Either you or Dia.
You have to pick one for each.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know you better, so I'm just going to say you. I've played you way more. So you're the best.
Which player do you think is best using Macedon?
Um. Hmm. For just all around every situation.
As the faction, I mean, yeah.
Hmm. I'd say Heracles is the best that I've seen. If absolute best. You're pretty close to him, but I'd say Heracles.
Which is the best to use Carthage?
Carthage. I'd say Dio. Dio uses it the best. He's very effective with them.
Which is the best to use Pontus?
Hmm. Uh, there's some people who I think are really good in certain situations, but overall, I think you do the best with them that I've seen in team games.
And what about Seleucids?
Seleucids, Heracles, absolutely.
What about Germania?
Germania, I don't know anybody who takes it regularly.
Okay,
Like
what about Britain and the lolzords?
Hamilcar,
Yeah, I
Hamilcar,
agree.
Barcelona, by far, by far.
Um, okay, so do you think that you have a good chance with winning the Eclipse 3 with Hamilcar?
Um, yeah, I'd say the chances are pretty good. I can't guarantee it, but
Yeah, of
they're good
course.
chances.
By the way, this is your first tournament, right? After like so many years, you
Yeah.
decided to play in this tournament. Why in this tournament particularly, and you rejected offers from the previous tournaments?
In the past, I just wasn't really into the whole like I just do it because I need to win sort of thing, which I think is what most people like doing. They just want to improve at it such that they're the best ever. I've never really like I enjoy being competitive and stuff like that and winning. Obviously, it's part of it, but like the main thing for me is the um, historical part of it, strategy part of it, just the challenge of it. It's not like I need to be the best ever, and I felt like tournaments. My opinion of them was always that they were a little. Um, they give people opinions and ideas, and they start conversations I'm not interested in. So I just never really had an interest in them. But I think this tournament in this era of Rome Tour is a lot more relaxed, and I think whoever wins, it's not going to be like, yeah, that dramatic or anything like that. Like, there have been tournaments in the past where people have left clans, yelled, screamed at each other, yelled at each other, tore themselves apart. These days, I don't think that's even an issue anymore. So I really have no problem with the tournament now.
Okay, pretty legit answer to me. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that was a pretty good set of questions. I covered almost everything I'd want to talk about.
Okay, so any suggestions to my tons of subscribers and viewers?
Get all your friends together. Get a big old family. Get the popcorn. Watch all of his videos. Subscribe, like, make him famous.
Okay, Boo Boo. Thank you very much for this interview. It was very nice talking to you again. We'll
Oh
see
yeah, I highly
you
enjoyed it.
in grassy flatlands just about now.
I'll see you there.
See you. Bye.
See ya.